Good morning, good afternoon, guys. To all my fans and friends around the world, this is Naresh, your host from Autocars India, bringing you live commentary for Formula One brand new season of 2018. This is the first round, which is going to start in Melbourne. Just to give you a little heads up what's happening in the teams for last few weeks. After we had testing season at Barcelona got completed with a lot of ice on the pancake and not much reliable data or useful data could be extracted, but nevertheless the teams which came out on top are undoubtedly Mercedes, followed by Ferrari and Red Bull. Lewis Hamilton, despite of being the favorite to retain his world championship, is keeping himself low and he's subduing the fact that Mercedes is the fastest car on the circuit. In the midfield, Haas has really shown the improvement and they seem to be Haas has really seemed to be a competitive car with latest Ferrari spec engine on its back. McLaren team for the midfield along with Renault, Toro Rosso, Williams and Sauber are a bit far behind on this aspect. Last 2 days teams have been in Australia and doing pretty good, except today the third practice session, which was not a great one as the rain lashed down and it was more of a running with wet tires over there. So here we go. This is brand new season for Formula One for 2018 at Melbourne, Australian Grand Prix. I'll be bringing you live commentary for the action happening in Melbourne. Little bit about Melbourne. This circuit is there on the Formula One calendar since 1985. Of course, the first was Adelaide, where Melbourne came into picture in 1992. Home favorite Daniel Ricciardo, who may not be in a good position as he did not slow down yesterday during the wreck pack conditions, and he'll be demoted by 3 places as grid penalties in the race tomorrow. We expect some thrilling action in the first race, as no matter what teams are talking about, we are going to find out truly how the teams are in the pecking order in Australian Grand Prix. Bit of information about Melbourne Grand Prix circuit. First Grand Prix was 1996, number of laps 58, circuit length 5.303 kilometers, race distance 307.574 kilometers, with lap record sitting with great of Formula One Michael Schumacher in 2004, 1 minute 24.125 seconds. This year there is another DRS activation zone which has been added. The track is pretty flat with an elevation change of negligible 10 meters from the sea level, as the track is right on the coast of Melbourne. We have now 3 DRS zones available in Australian Grand Prix, edition of 1 for this Grand Prix this season around. Just to give you heads up on the drivers lineup this season, you have the World Championship winner last time around, Lewis Hamilton, starting for Mercedes, car number 44. Second of the championship last time was Sebastian Vettel, will be starting in Ferrari, car number 5. Valtteri Bottas in third position for Mercedes, followed by Kimi Räikkönen starting in Ferrari. Red Bull, no change driver lineup, Daniel Ricciardo and Max Verstappen as usual, and great faces of Formula 1 and the future of Formula 1, where 2018 season as it ends will be fighting for a seat in Ferrari or Mercedes. Force India also starts up unchanged lineup. Sergio Perez, pretty successful year last year for Force India, where they finished fourth best team after the leading pack of Mercedes, Ferrari and Red Bull. Esteban Ocon, his teammate. Carlos Sainz came last during the last few races of 2017 season to Renault, as came on lease from Toro Rosso, doing good. Nico Hülkenberg along with Carlos Sainz in Renault. We have Williams starting with Lance Stroll and the rookie alongside him, Sergei Sirotkin, also a paid driver in Formula 1. So Williams setting a benchmark on fielding the paid driver. Haas looking good this year, surprisingly. They have the latest spec Ferrari engine with them, and they will be starting with Roman Grosjean and Kevin Magnussen. McLaren touted to be the strong midfield team this year and would be taking to Fernando Alonso and Stoffel Vandoorne. Marcus Ericsson, Pierre Gasly, Marcus Ericsson and Charles Leclerc starting for Sauber, Pierre Gasly and Brendan Hartley for Toro Rosso Honda. Honda swapped engines from McLaren to Toro Rosso. Toro Rosso pretty good. Melbourne, a beautiful circuit with 296,000 attendance. Race lap record 2004 with Michael Schumacher 1 minute 24 seconds. Still holds good. 16 turns, 3 sectors, 3 DRS zones, chances of overtaking going higher and higher in this circuit to make it more interesting. We all know turn 1, which is an action zone. 2002, Ralf Schumacher and Michael Rubens Barrichello accident, nobody can forget. And 1996, Martin Brundle Hubbard accident at turn 3, and Fernando Alonso 2 years back was a epic of the accident which we see on this track. Tires available for this weekend: soft, super soft, ultra soft, wet or intermediates. For the wet race, if any, will be a feature this weekend, as we feel there's going to be some disruption tomorrow in the race weekend. So qualifying is going to start any moment now as we wait for the cars and the drivers to strap inside and get ready for the first qualifying session of 2018 Formula One season. Just to update you once again, Daniel Ricciardo, he will be having 3 place grid penalty for his red flag not slowing down move yesterday. We're going to have cloudy skies, which will definitely help some of the midfield teams to have a mix-up of battle during the qualifying. As Fernando Alonso gets strapped in the car, all set for a great qualifying, first qualifying of 2018 season at Melbourne Albert Park Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton, 4-time world champion, and now will try to equal Manuel Fangio, and he's the modern generation driver and going to defend his 4th world title this year and looking for the 5th one. Qualifying session starts in few seconds from now as the lights goes green, and they are, so pit lane is open. The first one to come out, lining up, Renault in yellow and black livery, beautiful livery. Few things comes in, few things goes out in Formula One this season. Halo has been introduced and very much in, a lot of human cry about the halos, but finally they are in with the back of safety. Grid girls out, grid kids in. That's a feature which is going to happen in 2018 season. As Nico Hülkenberg is the first man to come out in 2018 season qualifying at Albert Park, Melbourne. One thing is assured, this year going to be a mix-up of battle between various teams, as Red Bull, Ferrari and Mercedes are pretty much clubbed together with half a second gap between 3 teams, with some gap in the midfield teams, with almost 1 second gap between them and McLaren, a group of cars, McLaren, Renault, Haas looking pretty good, and then the lower field with Williams, Sauber, Toro Rosso in the bottom of the table. We have seen in the testing, Haas is looking pretty good. They have pretty consistent runs, and Haas, to be rightly saying, is having Ferrari engine and having a lot of equipment from Ferrari for their car. So we can say Haas should be within half a second of Ferrari. However, practically we'll see once they come out on the track and to start setting the time lapse here. Most of the cars on outlap with Nico Hülkenberg leading the pack. Nico Hülkenberg now going to start his time lap, and there he starts his time lap. Pretty fast in first few corners. Melbourne, as a street circuit, gives a lot of thrills to the fans as they happened to be coming very close to the cars running on the field. With almost all the drivers with ultra soft tires straight away for the first run, nobody wants to take a chance in the first qualifying session. They are on ultra soft tires, which is pink sidewall tires. Hulkenberg with green sector 1 and sector 2, looking good. Nico Hulkenberg. However, Roman Grosjean, he sets the fastest time. Carlos Sainz now, he sets the fastest time, 1 minute 24.6 seconds. Grosjean on second, Kevin Magnussen third, Nico Hulkenberg fourth, Marcus Ericsson fifth, Charles 7th position. With Ferrari out and Vettel not as good as we have thought. He's down by 1/10 of a second to the leader as of now, Carlos Sainz. Now Kimi Räikkönen from Ferrari, he gets the fastest time, 1 minute 23 seconds on last lap around.
And watch for Bottas behind, watch for Bottas behind.
Yeah, well, how far?
Kimi Räikkönen is, while on the last leg, asking how far is Kimi Räikkönen from Valtteri Bottas, who was behind his tail, as he sets up the fastest time of the qualifying session, 1 minute 23.616 seconds. Hamilton now comes second fastest, 1 minute 23.802 seconds. Ferrari showing the true pace here now. Now Daniel Ricciardo is on the run. With 11 minutes to go in qualifying session 1, Daniel Ricciardo in sector 1, about to finish the sector 1, pretty good. Timing is making turn 5, he's crossing now, and he's 400th of a second down on the time set by Kimi Räikkönen, but pretty much matched up with the top teams. as the Ricardo comes to the start finish line and he's the second fastest. So definitely some work to be done by Mercedes as Max Verstappen punches to the third position. Now Hamilton is on the track and he's on the lap on the last turn, which is turn number 16. As he comes around on the start finish straight, where does he finish? He had a purple sector in sector 1, sector 2 was good, and he's still down 1/1600th of a second down on the time set by Red Bulls. So here, Red Bull is coming out to be stronger. It'll be interesting to see how Hamilton is faring as compared to Daniel Ricciardo in the last lap. Hamilton was 1 minute 23.263 seconds, whereas Daniel Ricciardo last lap was 1 minute 23.509 seconds. As we have 6 minutes to go in the session, we are about to finish the session 1 of this qualifying with Kimi Räikkönen 1 minute 23.066 seconds. Kimi Räikkönen topping the timesheets and Lewis Hamilton following him. Sebastian Vettel third position, fourth Max Verstappen, Daniel Ricciardo fifth, Bottas, Alonso falling in sixth and seventh position. Important drivers in relegation zone: Sergei Sirotkin, Pierre Gasly, Lance Stroll, Charles Leclerc, Brendan Hartley. Alonso comfortably up in seventh position in McLaren, along with his teammate in ninth position. Lewis Hamilton, another fast lap, and he puts the fastest lap of the session with 5 minutes to go. Lewis Hamilton tops 1 minute 22 seconds now. friends, do remember to like and subscribe my channel by hitting click and subscribe on the right bottom screens. I am bringing you live commentary for Australian Grand Prix, presently being on with qualifying session at Albert Park, Melbourne. With 3 minutes 30 seconds to go, Lewis Hamilton topping the time sheet. Drivers in relegation zone. Sergei Sirotkin from Williams, which looks to be a shaky one at this position. Bottom 5 drivers will be relegated from the qualifying session 1.
Check out push on the outlap, push on the outlap. We're planning for first timed lap.
Bottas is down in 7th position, but I'm sure that is not the right timing which Mercedes is trying to show. They always keep few of the 10th of a second with them and keep that for the final lap of qualifying in Q3. 2.5 minutes to go. Drivers in relegation zone. Sergei Sirotkin, Russian for Williams. Pierre Gasly, Brendan Hartley for Toro Rosso. Lance Stroll for Williams and Charles Leclerc for Sauber, Alfa Romeo Sauber. Lewis Hamilton, top of the time sheets. There is plenty of track evolution which is happening, and the fastest time we are to see now when 30 seconds are left for qualifying session 1 to get completed. Drivers in relegation zone: Marcus Ericsson, Sergei Sirotkin, Pierre Gasly, Lance Stroll, Charles Leclerc and Brendan Hartley. So Alfa Romeo, Sauber, Toro Rosso, Honda and Williams, Mercedes are in surely danger of getting relegated. Lance Stroll, however, is on track, looking good as of now. As he comes around start-finish line, where does he finish? Yes, he brings him out of the relegation zone. Sergei Sirotkin behind him. Will he be able to do it? No, he doesn't. Sergei Sirotkin is out. Stoffel Van Dorn is well up. He's going to finish and he is presently 15, remember, and he brings it out 11th. Fernando Alonso, the next one, he's presently 12th, comfortably in 7th position. Carlos Sainz, in the meantime, comes to 6th position. Valtteri Bottas in Mercedes in 9th position. With Brandon Hartley, Charles Leclerc, Marcus Ericsson on their runs. Brandon Hartley crosses, doesn't come out, stays 16th. Charles Leclerc, next driver. Will he be able to do it for other Williams? Crosses, no he doesn't, stays 17th. Marcus Ericsson, last driver. No he doesn't, he improves but not enough. So Esteban Ocon comes out, stays out in Q2. However, Brendan Hartley, Toro Rosso, Marcus Ericsson and Charles Leclerc, Alfa Romeo Sauber, Sergei Sirotkin, Williams and Pierre Gasly of Toro Rosso are out of qualifying session 1. If we compare the speeds in this session, overall the fastest speed in Sector 1 has been done by Sebastian Vettel, also in Sector 2, and Sector 3 Sergio Perez being the fastest. The top speeds touched are 306 kilometers by Ferrari and the Force India of Sergio Perez 306 kilometers. Weather is been good, it's pretty dry and 24 degrees Celsius here. As the drivers are getting ready for the qualifying session 2, we have the exits from qualifying session 1 as Brendan Hartley from Toro Rosso is out of the session. Marcus Ericsson for Alfa Romeo Sauber out. Charles Leclerc for other BMW, Sauber is out. Sergei Sirotkin, Williams out. Pierre Gasly, Toro Rosso Honda also out of qualifying session 1. Topping the timesheets, Lewis Hamilton, Mercedes with 1 minute 22.824 seconds tops the qualifying session 1. As the drivers are getting ready for Q2, very important Q2. Remember, Fernando Alonso, he qualified 7th fastest. Carlos Sainz is the 6th fastest. So a bit of a winning battle for Renault powered engine. Roman Grosjean Haas is also on 8th, which is pretty good.
All about the exit here. You'll carry speed all the way down to turn 11 here, and again you can see edgy. Now actually crossing the lines here is equally as tricky.
Let's have a look at this again. A 140.8.
Just crossing the lines, wasn't it, that we're talking about?
That part of the track, Paul, as you head out of turn 10, get on the power, it's not a place where you really want to be going too close to the wall.
It's the lines, you know, we're just talking about, you know, obviously some of them are painted black and they're equally as slippy as...
With few minutes to go, we are getting ready for Q2 session in qualifying of Australian Grand Prix. And yes, it goes, the lights are green, the drivers are lining up at the end of the pit lane. Just to remind, Daniel Ricciardo, whatever he does, he finishes, he's going to start 3 places down from the position he qualifies because of the penalty he's going to carry tomorrow in the race due to not following the red flag conditions yesterday. It's very interesting. Valtteri Bottas is 9th fastest and he's definitely vulnerable to the pace of the cars which is coming down from the pack of midfielders. It will be interesting to see as we are going to go to Q2 where Mercedes are always keeping something in their hand, and we do expect they are going to pull out a huge, almost more than half a second gap between them, Ferraris and Red Bulls. As the Red Bulls come out of the track, with Max Verstappen the first one to lead the pack on the track for warm-up lap. So 10 minutes to go in qualifying session 2. Kimi Räikkönen is going to set up the first time lap of this session. Looking good, first sector. Second sector just completed. Out to come out of the second sector and entering the sector 3. Hard braking in the corner number 13. Fast flowing corner 14 and 15s, which is hard braking both on the third gear. Comes out on the last turn number 16, and on the start finish straight, where does Kimi Räikkönen goes? He sets up a time 1 minute 22.507 seconds. Tops the time sheet. Verstappen second with 0.3 of a second down on Kimi Räikkönen time. Clouds are looming on top of Melbourne Albert Park circuit. Bit of a locker from Nico Hülkenberg and goes off. Not a good sign for Renault here. Lewis Hamilton now. He's up by almost half a second of the time set by Kimi Räikkönen. Lewis Hamilton topping the time sheets comfortably as we were expecting. Lewis Hamilton had a great lap last time around. Carlos Sainz this time crosses the start finish line. He's 1.6 seconds down on the time by Lewis Hamilton, and that's pretty right timing what these Renaults and McLarens are expected to do. About 1.5 seconds down on the top leading pack. But it'll be interesting to see as Max Verstappen and Daniel Ricciardo, both of them have set their laps on the super soft tires, and they are 0.7 of a second down on the time set by Lewis Hamilton. As you have seen, Kimi Räikkönen has been down by 0.4 of a second from Lewis Hamilton with 1 minute 22.507 seconds. It's interesting to see Lewis Hamilton moving around from here as they have clear half a second gap between them. But Red Bulls are a surprise package, as both Verstappen and Daniel Ricciardo had set their timing on super soft tires. Fernando Alonso comfortably in 7th, Carlos Sainz 8th with more than 1.5 second gap between them. Kevin Magnussen of Haas, Stoffel Vandoorne in 9th and 10th position. Remember, qualifying session 2, top 10 drivers will go for the shootout for top 10 and shootout for the pole. Drivers in relegation zone as of now: Lance Stroll, Roman Grosjean, Sergio Perez, Nico Hülkenberg, surprising event off the track, Esteban Ocon, Brendan Hartley, who is already out. So drivers in relegation zone: Stoffel Vandoorne is just at the edge. Stroll, Grosjean, Perez, Hülkenberg, Ocon all have to find some time in their laps. as the clouds are getting darker and darker. Fernando Alonso is urging we need to do one more lap as he is presently on 7th position. I believe Red Bull is taking a bit of a gamble to use the super soft. Remember, the tires used in Q2 will be the starting tires tomorrow in the Grand Prix. But I would say they are pretty safe on these tires. Nico Hülkenberg has to come out of the track or he'll be left out. He came out of the track and ruined his last time lap. As 3 minutes 24 seconds to go in this qualifying session 2, I'm sure all the cars would like to come out of the track and make another improvement on their timings, as rain is surely on the doorsteps of the circuit, Albert Park. Drivers are rushing out on the track now. Alonso also comes out. Stroll, Grosjean, Perez, Hülkenberg, Ocon are all in the relegation zone. So nobody is safe apart from top 3 teams who are sitting prettily in top 6. So Alonso, Sainz, Magnussen, Vandoorne, all the positions are up for the offing to be qualified for qualifying 1. It's interesting that Max Verstappen and Daniel Ricciardo still opt for super soft tires, which is a bit different from all the other drivers who are opting for ultra soft tires. That shows the confidence in Red Bull team that they will be able to comfortably go to Q1 without any hassle. Esteban Ocon in 15, his timing is not very good. He's already 2.5 seconds down. As he crosses turn number 9, turn 10, gone for Ocon, and he's down by 4 seconds. Roman Grosjean, he's in sector 2, he's up in sector 2, putting green sectors, gained about 2/10 of the second. Roman Grosjean expected to come out comfortably in 9th position. Let's see what does he do as drivers are punching up. You have 1 minute 2 seconds to go for this Q2. Nico Hülkenberg still in the pits. He needs to come out. Roman Grosjean, Kevin Magnussen of Haas, both are putting green sector. Will they be able to displace? Presently Magnussen is on 10th position as he comes out on turn number 16. Where does he stand? Magnussen He's 7th fastest. Alonso is down. Hulkenberg coming behind him. What does he do? He goes P9. Alonso on the edge of relegation zone. One doom here now. Presently 12th position. Turn number 14 cross. 15 clear. Clean exit from turn number 16, which is very important on this track. And he is on the start pretty straight. Where does he go? He goes. Can he displace Alonso? No, he still remains 12. Perez. Sergio Perez. Also 13, cannot do it. Carlos Sainz is in 10th position. Will he be able to displace Alonso? Sainz goes 7th. Alonso is down in 11th. Alonso is out in the relegation zone. Esteban Ocon now. Presently 15th. Not sure whether Alonso is on the track now. Esteban Ocon now. He stays 15. Sebastian Vettel. So news is both the McLarens are out as Vettel puts the fastest time 1 minute 21.944 seconds. Renault and Haas are comfortably qualifying for Q1 here. This shows the true pecking order for 2018 season to come by as the time gets over. Both Alonso and Van Dome are out. Perez, Stroll and Ocon also out. So both the Force Indias, McLarens and Esteban Ocon, Lance Stroll are out of Q2. So McLaren turning out to be a lower midfield car after Haas and Renault.
And we will have a dry Q3. And we will have a dry Q3.
This is your race start set, so as careful as you can be on this set.
Locked into 3, so it's probably a bit of a flat spot. Probably not the best to start on.
Okay.
This will be a disaster. All up. This will be a disaster. All up.
It's go quali. So keep backing it up. Okay, so Valtteri's going to come past. He's going to take another lap.
As we see, pecking order is getting clear as the shootout for pole position gets started. Q2 is over. Drivers out: Fernando Alonso and Stoffel Van Dome of McLaren, Sergio Perez, Force India, Lance Stroll, Williams, Esteban Ocon, Force India out. To summarize the Q2, Sebastian Vettel tops the time sheet with 1 minute 21.944 seconds, the fastest time on the circuit this weekend, and clouds are getting darker and darker with Lewis Hamilton second on the Q2 with 1/10 of a second slower than Ferrari of Sebastian Vettel. Valtteri Bottas very close, third position, Max Verstappen fourth, Kimi Räikkönen fifth in Ferrari, Daniel Ricciardo, remember on super soft tires, both the Red Bull. Sixth position, Carlos Sainz seventh, eighth Kevin Magnussen, Roman Grosjean ninth, and Nico Hülkenberg 10th position. So we will now go to see the first pole shootout for 2018 Formula One season. It's going to be a great two time lapse in Q3, as both Ferrari and Mercedes would like to muscle it out for pole position, and mixing up surprise package from Max Verstappen and Daniel Ricciardo, who are, remembered, still on the super soft tire, which is definitely going to be giving them half a second advantage on when they come out on ultra soft tires. As the Q3 gets started, 12 minutes to go in Q3. Sebastian Vettel leads the time sheet. Hamilton is the first one to come out on the track. Hamilton would like to stamp the authority from the word go at Albert Park here. As he comes out for the warm-up lap, Ferrari not far behind. Sebastian Vettel getting ready in the car, waiting for the signal to go out. As the tire blankets come out, and Sebastian Vettel out of the pit garage. Very important. Looks like Ferrari are definitely stronger than Mercedes, and Red Bull's bringing a surprise package. Now on the ultra soft, hyper soft tires, pink sideboard. Ricciardo is out in first. Anxious moment for Christian Horner to have a pole position in Australia. The local boy, Daniel Ricciardo, will also try. However, Daniel Ricciardo, whatever position he gets, he's going to start 3 positions down due to his penalty he's carrying, not obligating the red flag yesterday in the practice. Nothing much to compare between Sebastian Vettel and Lewis Hamilton at this stage, as Lewis Hamilton brings his bettering the time what he has. Starts off at the start finish line. Lewis Hamilton starts his time lap. He has 72 career poles. Last pole was USA Australian Grand Prix 2017. All set to match, and here is a disaster for Mercedes. Guess who has hit the wall? And Bottas has hit the wall. What a disaster for Mercedes here. He has hit the wall on the exit of turn 2. Not a place to be making such mistakes at the driver, a caliber of driver by Valtteri Bottas. Such a shame for Mercedes. They have definitely done a disaster to the campaign of 2018. Doesn't seem to be this car is going to get ready. And Toto Wolff, as expected, is disgruntled by the action of Valtteri Bottas. A shame and a red flag out in this qualifying session. Seems Valtteri Bottas is safe, but no good thinking by Valtteri Bottas. He's not moving. He's still inside the car. Okay, he comes out of the car safely. Looks he has some slight discomfort in walking, but seems to be okay as these cars are highly safe. Valtteri Bottas, he is definitely under pressure as he's not sure whether he's going to get the seat in 2019 season, and he has to show that he's a better driver, or at least equal driver of Lewis Hamilton caliber. He's out, he's going in a medical car along with the track steward. He slightly went out, left rear tire went on the grass, and then he was a passenger as he hits the wall on turn number 2. Disaster for Mercedes.
That was a hell of a lap. That's all we got, man. A lot of work to do, eh?
Medical car has been deployed. The pin has lost it coming out of turn 2 and hit the barriers at very high speed. A lot of damage to the Mercedes. Good thing is he's safely out of car. Disaster for the world champions because they wrecked Lewis Hamilton's dream also here. What a mistake. Niki Lauda, non-executive chairman of Mercedes, equally looking unhappy in the pits as Mercedes car is being lifted and cleared off the track. We are still in the red flag with session stop. Very heavy impact. It could have been worse news for Bottas. Hopefully he hasn't suffered damage to his gearbox there. Because if he has to change the transmission or gearbox, that will be an extra grid penalty. Definitely, one thing is sure, that Bottas is going to not start above than 10th position here tomorrow in Sunday Grand Prix. What a drama by Valtteri Bottas of Mercedes. Red flag still flying as the car being cleared. Lewis Hamilton sitting calmly in his car. As the debris are being cleared from turn 2, inspection for the barrier is going on, tire barrier which has been hit quite heavily. We should be having the session start in another few minutes of time. Car looks to be in very bad shape. It looks to be there's going to be some damage definitely on transmission or gearbox. As it hits the right rear side. Bottas is in the medical center for a medical checkup. He looks to be okay as he's walking. this is surely a very bad start for the season for Valtteri Bottas here. Huge crash at turn 2 in the first qualifying session of the year, which now he needs to really impress early on to convince Mercedes to keep him for 2019 season. Remember, Daniel Ricciardo and Max Verstappen are up for the seats in 2019 for Ferrari or Mercedes, and they're very strong contenders, with Kimi Räikkönen also going to bid farewell to Ferrari and his Formula 1 season. And Bottas cannot do these mistakes again in this season. Surely he is under tremendous pressure, no doubt about it, to keep his seat in Mercedes here. He just went onto the grass. And now debris are littered all around the track, which stewards are cleaning right now. As the red flag is still there, debris are being cleaned. So Valtteri Bottas is out of the qualifying after that stunt, but still 9 cars are still to battle for the pole. Session will start in about a minute's time. As the track is clear, we go green once again. Bottas will start 10th as he's out, and hopefully his damage can be contained on the gearbox and the transmission, or else he has to take some grid penalties also. Definitely not a good start of the season for Valtteri Bottas. Daniel Ricciardo the same, he's going to be demoted by 3 places, whatever position he finishes here. Looking good for Lewis Hamilton to defend his title. Drivers have been warned that sector 1, turn 1, circuit is slippery, so be cautious. This is the place where Valtteri Bottas had a shunt. As the drivers go green, first one to come out is Red Bull, followed by Lewis Hamilton, followed by Daniel Ricciardo, another Red Bull. Ferraris are also coming out now. 9 minutes to go in this session. Fight for the pole. Red Bull communicates to Daniel Ricciardo on the radio that be careful, as hydraulic fluid might have been deposited on turn 2 from the car of Valtteri Bottas. as Lewis Hamilton uses the same tires. Valtteri Bottas is out. Max Verstappen also on the new set of ultra soft tires here. And seems to be Red Bull all set to clinch the pole here from Lewis Hamilton, as they are having brand new sets of ultra soft tires available to them. Lewis Hamilton cornering turn number 14, 15 and 16 and getting ready for the one lap he will get for the pole, and it goes around 315 km per hour from turn number 1 to well executed turns. Starts doing his sector 1, looks good, crosses turn 3, very well, nice on the fixes. Turn number 4, nicely done, keeping the car on the limits. 27.139 sector time, purple sector time for him. He's gaining on sector 1. Turn number 8, cleanly outside apex, inside on turn 10. Very quick, fast going corners coming now. Turn number 11 as he crosses, 49.4 seconds, sector 2 completed. Start sector 3, tricky one, turn number 30. As he goes around cleanly, and the last corner, turn number 14, they have to come down on 4th gear, picks up speed, very important to have a nice exit here, and he does it. And where does he finish? Let's see. He goes and he gets 1:22.051. Daniel Ricciardo is right behind him. How much he finishes? He's slower, 0.3 of a second slower than Lewis Hamilton. Max Verstappen, all hopes on Max Verstappen. Can he do it? He's 600 of the second from the pace of Lewis Hamilton. Looks, Red Bull definitely has a quality to do it. In the meantime, Raikkonen, will he be able to do it? He's 0.2 of a second down. He's only P3. Vettel coming along. Turn number 16 has a clean exit. What does Vettel do it? Will he be able to clinch the pole, provisional pole here? No, he does not. He's 0.03 of the second down on Lewis Hamilton time. So Hamilton still leads with a very, very marginal gap between him, Vettel and Verstappen. I'm sure they will get a second run, one more run in this session, but it's very close for the top 3 teams here. As Verstappen says, is narrowly missing out, but he's confident of getting some more time out from his car. He's P3 as of now. 600 of the second gap between him and Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen. Which Max Verstappen is telling on the radio that he feels he has a bit more in the car. It shows that he can definitely clinch the pole here. Lewis Hamilton is under the threat here of losing a pole position to Red Bulls here. Lewis Hamilton, though, completed his lap and timings are exactly the same what he managed in Q2. Verstappen, however, feels that he has some more time in his pocket. Has 4 minutes 22 seconds to go. Interesting to hear the Daniel Ricciardo team radio.
Okay, Bottas has shunted turn 2. We expect it. Red flag, red flag. Remember, you need to slow down, slow down, slow down.
That was the team radio when Bottas had collided with the side barrier.
Okay, Bottas has shunted turn 2. We expect it. Red flag, red flag. Remember, you need to slow down, slow down, slow down.
People improving per sector.
Ferraris, Red Bull and Mercedes are definitely up there for the pole position grab, as for one more run, Renault and Haas, they come out to fulfill the last 3 positions on the track for top 10. That's very interesting when Roman Grosjean had come out of the pits, as Lewis Hamilton comes out on the track. As Vettel comes out now, 2 minutes to go for this session. Q1 fight for the pole to begin. Vettel in second position, Verstappen third, Raikkonen fourth, Daniel Ricciardo in fifth position. Remember, Daniel Ricciardo is going to start 3 positions down wherever he finishes in this qualifying session. Lewis Hamilton on his warm-up lap. Max Verstappen feels he has some more in his car to offer. He's confident about Aston Martin Red Bull with new logo on the wings. Looks astonishingly beautiful car. Max Verstappen presently third. Max Verstappen has never won the pole position. Remember, this could be a real chance for him to get his first career pole, as Lewis Hamilton starts the flying lap, trying to defend 2017, his last crown, 4 World Championships under his bag. As he starts off, interesting to see the Sector 1. Is very quick in this corners in Sector 1. Car bumping around. It's a street circuit. Oh, and Lewis Hamilton is 4/10 of the second faster than his last time. Definitely looks very good. Raikkonen not so good. He's up, but only 1/10 of the second. Purple sector for Lewis Hamilton as he crosses turn number 10, fast going turn number 10 and 11 here. And he's 6/10 of the second faster, Lewis Hamilton. He's definitely throwing the pedal out of the ground here. Turn 13, outright pace for Lewis Hamilton. Turn 14, fast flowing. Doesn't seem to be going to stop here, as Verstappen is only green in the sector 2. Lewis Hamilton looks all good. He's going to pick up the checkered flag, and where does he finish? Oh, phenomenal! 1 minute 21.1 seconds. Nobody can beat this time for sure. Raikkonen as of now P2. What does Verstappen does? He's only P3. So Lewis Hamilton showed the pace at the last. Sebastian Vettel, can he do? No, he will definitely not be able to do it. Where does he finish? P3. So Lewis Hamilton clinches the first pole of 2018 season, followed by both the Ferraris, Raikkonen and Vettel in second and third position. Verstappen fourth, followed by Daniel Ricciardo in fifth position, Kevin Magnussen sixth, Roman Grosjean sixth, seventh, Nico Hülkenberg 8, Carlos Sainz 9, Valtteri Bottas, courtesy accident finishes 10. One more pole for Lewis Hamilton here. At the end, it was no matching for Mercedes by Red Bull or anybody. Imagine Kevin Magnussen is 6th fastest, Roman Grosjean is 7th fastest. So Haas is definitely up this year to challenge the top 10 position more often than not. What a lap Lewis Hamilton put in the last when it mattered the most. So with this, we'll close the live commentary and keep liking, subscribe my channel and look forward for the great race day tomorrow. Thank you very much and safe driving.